Hey, what's up, business owners, and also special nod to credit repair business owners. Making this video here right before the holidays, and I'm probably going to make some videos over the holidays because I have a lot of time on my hands uh, due to my wife being still being in the hospital. So, in this video, what I want to talk about belief. And I'm going to answer some questions about where do I run my ads. I had a lot of people ask me, like, Steve, where do you run your ads at? Uh, all the different places. In like a little bit, they asked if I could give a little bit of a breakdown of each. So I'm going to do that in this video. But I want to first start off because I don't believe that I mentioned it or maybe I did, but it still, even if I did, it's worth mentioning again. My long-time executive secretary, Miss Terry, that's what we called her here in the office. She passed away a week and a half ago, and she was the second person that I had hired back in 1996. She's been with my company that long, all the way from 1996 all the way to now. Some people say, well, you must be a good boss to have people work for you that long. And I say that it's more about the people. She was a very good person, and everyone in the office is going to miss her. Everybody, like, and people, she was the one that greeted people when they came in, and everybody that comes in that when she would take ads for our publication company, mainly the classified ad people, business owners, rentals and stuff. They're coming in. They're like, well, where's the Miss Terry at? And then you have to give them the news. Um, but she will be missed, and I might mention her in another video because when someone's around you that many years, she was one of the only people, other than my wife and my daughter, that could actually be like, cool yourself down. Now I don't get out of control, but like, where I might push a little bit too much. And she was one of the ones that was like, you need to, pull back a little bit. Because some of the times I can get to pushing the employees a little bit, maybe a little bit too hard. And that's for you as a business owner. For you as a business owner, and this is very important. You need to understand this when you start hiring people. And that's why it really made sense. She didn't know what she was doing when she would say it, but let me tell you, let me break it down what she's actually saying it, but not saying it. Is that people who work for you, if they could run their own business and do things like you do as a business owner, they would have their own business. So we as business owners need to understand that what you do, our job is to just put people into one category and let them do their category, and uh, you audit their results from their category, but don't give them too many things to do. My sales teams, all they do is sell, collect money for my news advertising and my mobile app advertising. All they do is sell, collect. They hand it over to the graphic designers. They do that part, and then it's handed over to the invoice department at the same time to make the invoice and submit that stuff. It's all different things, different pieces of people, which is what you probably have, what you do have at your company. Nobody in your company is doing everything. But we as business owners start to think like once we start hiring somebody, they have to do everything, and you can't do it that way. With my credit repair business, my sales reps set up the client, and then they pass it off to customer service. and they never are supposed to deal with that individual again. I actually lock my sales reps out, or they have to ask for special permission to even get to the information of the customer that they just placed into the CRM. So you have to keep that in mind when dealing with employees. And what Miss Terry was saying without really knowing it was, hey, you're putting too much pressure on that person because they can't do all of that. They're not like you. They can't do all of that. And that helped me. That's why I have so many employees, is because what I started learning was you get people to do one specialty and let them blossom in that specialty, and you will see that you will, number one, take pressure off of yourself, and then you will see that your business will run more as a system. That's what all of the big companies do. That's what good business owners do. Now, before I get to the part about the advertisement, I want to talk about something where a pastor came to my office yesterday to place an ad for his church. And I just happened to say, hey, I'll talk to him. One of the, the other sales reps wasn't in. I said, I'll talk to him. And also I knew him because he had stopped by months ago about placing an ad. And I said, I'll talk to him. And we got the ad placed, and he was like, I just trying to reach more people, but I just seem to can't get to get my church going. And I was like, yeah, you know what's going on with COVID, but with churches, it really, if they have exemptions so they could bring people in. And he said even before COVID, it was, he's been doing it for, I think he showed me a video from 2014. So he's had plenty of time to try to get this ball rolling, and he couldn't. And I said, well, think about it this way. Are you in front of the tidal wave of where people are at? Or are you really just doing things the old way, and you're not really growing? And the old way, really, for churches is to try to do word of mouth. Churches would rarely advertise. I mean, you got a church ad running in a magazine. We have a church section in our magazine, and the churches advertise, but it's not because they wanted to do it, like they were out there seeking to do it. We actually went to the churches and said, we'll take pictures of people that are celebrating in your churches, that are, just pictures. And we would put the church advertisement along the bottom of the page. And what the church pastors started doing over time, they were like, hey, why isn't our church listed in that publication? Because they know people always love to see themselves in pictures, no matter where they're at the club or at church or wherever. Uh, and so what happened was I said, you need to get to where people are at. Yes, people pick up our magazine. Yes, you're going to get seen. But if you're really trying to explode it, you need to get yourself online. And I showed him what I was doing on YouTube, where I'm getting 6 grand a month for just posting videos on YouTube. I just finished my YouTube post video just before I made this video. And I was like, I showed him what I was earning. And then he asked me, how much does it cost to get it set up? Because if you don't set it up the right way, it's you're gonna, your videos aren't gonna get found. And I just told him, hey, my brother does this for $399. He'll set up everything for your channel. The only thing you got to do is post your videos. And he said that he just don't think that he can afford to do that. And I said, don't speak that way on affording to do it. Ask yourself again, do you want to make this church successful? The way to make that church successful is to get in front of more people. He understands that. He has that in his head, but he was stuck on $399. And the big reason why I'm bringing this up is because it has to do with why a lot of people are not successful in their business right now. Is because they can't get over the hump They only see what they're putting out, but they don't see it as an investment to get to where they want to be. So, like you say, let's give an example. Uh, Most people will get a website not because they truly believe they need a website. They get a website, most of you get a website, is because you see everybody else have a website. So it overrides what your internal mechanism might be about spending the money. So you might not spend an elaborate amount of money on a website, but you're going to get a website. You're going to probably get business cards. You're going to probably get an LLC. All of that stuff, you think that you're getting that stuff because you want to be legitimate business? No, you're getting all that stuff because people over time have done it, and it overrides to where you believe more that you have to get that to be in business than if you need it. And there's some people that are below your level. If they don't have a website, they're actually below your level. They're not even at that level yet. But he was stuck, and I was like, hmm. I showed you $6,000 a month. And if you could get to even what I have, and I believe that he could because he has millions worldwide potential. I mainly just have United States and Canada, and I do have some military customers that are in different countries, but I'm limited as a credit repair business. And with my marketing company, it's mainly just doing US companies. And but I was like, you have to believe in what you want, and then you will take the actions. Like everything. The six, I didn't post videos and then get to 6,000. I posted videos years ago, and what happened was one day I woke up and I had a hit record, and I was watching uh, the Bee Gees documentary on, I think it was HBO, one of the channels, and the only surviving brother, which is the oldest brother, he made a statement where we didn't even know what was really going on when we were doing stuff. He said that perception, if his brothers were there next to him, that he tells a story one way and they would both tell it a different way. And then he also said something that even other musicians said, and this is what will help close this part out. And this is something that I tried to explain, and I don't know if I'm always as clear, so I'm trying to use examples. Is that they said that the songs are already out there, that you just have to allow that song to come to you, and that hit will be a hit. So there was a whole bunch of songs up in the air, and then you have the mindset to let that song come into you. And they said that several times, and they had musicians that are nowadays, very popular now, that said the same thing, that they understand that the song is already made and wrote, and all you're doing is capturing it from the universe. And when I was explaining to him about what had happened to me with my YouTube channel, and you don't have a lot of people that'll just share that with you. Like they'll have a successful channel and they're like, I don't want to bother with you. Or they maybe don't even know what happened. But I know what happened because I analyzed. And what had happened was, number one, I made videos from the beginning because I made videos believing that I was going to help people with the videos. I did not make videos for views. And I kept making videos when it came to me from the universe on, you need to make this video. Like the video I made today was FICO score 9, explaining to people the differences between the different FICO scores, the FICO auto score, the FICO score 9, the FICO score 8. It came to me and I said, I'm going to make a video on that. And the one that hit in May of this year was when I made that video about Santander. I woke up the next morning and I had 15,000 views. I think the most I was having in one day was maybe 100, 150 views. Had 15,000 views in one day. And then I was averaging on during a good stretch from May to August over 3,000 to 3,600 subscribers to my channel. Real people, subscribers. And all I did was stay. What I do is what I did when I didn't have all those subscribers. At that time, I had only had about 4,500 subscribers. At that time, YouTube was also always sending me saying, "Hey, do you want to make money doing your videos? Do you want to make money? Let us sell advertisements on your video." And I had always said no. I just said no, but at that time, I just said yes. Whatever it ends up being, it's just extra. Um, and it ended up being $6,000 and growing per month. So that's not, uh, you got to understand that. But the thing is that I started that, and I'm still that same individual that's just making videos for people to watch, sharing information with them. So it was not, give me $6,000, I'm going to make these type of videos. No, I'm the same as I was then as I am now. And that's where I was trying to tell the pastor is that regardless if you spend the $3.99, you can't change. The only thing we're doing is just setting you up a channel the right way, but you cannot change. You have to remain consistent, post the videos to help people. Don't let the money be the wrench that comes into there, because the money is nothing but a tool. The money is nothing but a tool. You have to be rich before, inside, before you will see the money on the outside. You have to be rich on the inside before you see the money materialize on the outside. That's why they always say people are chasing money. When you see most of the people that chase money never get to the money. They never get to the money. They're always chasing. So be an idea person and let the money uh, materialize from your ideas. So now let's get to it. Let's get to it. A lot of people are asking, where do I run my ads and what types? So let's first start with, where do I run my ads? I obviously run ads on Facebook. I do not boost ads. If you boost ads on Facebook, this is what I call boosting an ad on Facebook. If you boost ads on Facebook, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. You're balling up your money and you're throwing it in the trash. That's what you're doing if you're boosting ads on Facebook. I run my ads, so I run them on campaign level ads. Uh, Within Facebook, they allow you to have ads on multiple apps, what they call audience networks. These could be on different websites, different news websites. It could be all over the place. Like one of the times I ran my ad on there, and one of my friends said, "I saw you on the news channel's website." And I was like, "I didn't run it directly on the news channel website." He was like, "I saw your picture and your ad on there on the news channel website in my area." And I was like, "Okay." And that's where the instant audiences is. Instant audience could be on a Uber app. It could be on what is that, the eating app? What is that one? I don't know. I can't even think about it. The one where they deliver for you. Your ad could be on one of those apps. Your ad could be on my app, uh, Blue Book app. It could be on there too, which is right here. Could be on the Blue Book app because we pull in Facebook ads. It could be on various blog websites that's within the interest of what you choose. Um, and then also it could be on Instagram, which I run ads on Instagram. And then I also run ads on Bing. A lot of people don't know that Bing, what they do is they bring in, but they don't work specifically with Google on everything, but they work with them on some stuff. You can actually be on Bing and search, and a search query could go to Google to feed your search. When you place your ads, it'll ask you, do you want it to go with their partners? And on Google, they also have that feature where you can run your ad and you can say, yes, I want to also have my ad show with your partners. Partners, again, could be apps. It could also be in the reverse where your ad that was on Google can show in the marketplace on Facebook. And you can always know because I had that little blue triangle. And then it can also run on websites like it on I have different websites for different companies and I allow Google ads to show on there and you'll see that little box in there or different news websites you can see that. I run ads on YouTube for different businesses. One of my biggest ads we're probably doing now, I was looking at it almost 50,000 a month on Google. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, on Google. But let me get to YouTube. Let me talk about Google real quick again. Running pay-per call ads on Google for companies that buy junk cars. We have customers all over the United States, and we set up their Well, we run the campaigns, run the ads, and they pay us to do it, and we just generate calls to them. Also running ads on YouTube, and on YouTube you can have your banner show. You can run a video. It's like running a commercial, just like how I get paid to run my uh, to allow people to run ads on my YouTube channel, the same thing is in the reverse. You can pay to run ads on YouTube and you can either just have it go all over or you can target the type of demographic that you want to choose. But it's just like running commercials. Another one is, and on YouTube, it's mainly video and banner ads. On Verizon Media, is one where it's mainly Verizon Media does the banner ads for Yahoo and Bing. They send them the traffic for banner ads through Verizon Media. That's where you would have to place them. And those are just going on people's phones. If they're on the Verizon app, it's going on different uh, websites all over the internet, news websites. You'll see them like if you're scrolling, go to yahoo.com and you see their news channel. I mean, all their news pictures and descriptions of news that's going on, and you'll see little ads that are populated in between there. Now, I would say to do ads on Yahoo, Bing, and Google, you and Verizon, you have to be a seasoned pro. You can lose a lot of money and not get results. You have to be a seasoned pro on how to judge if your ads are working and number one, and then also make ads. A lot of people don't even think about this when they are making ads that they think that you're trying to sell people your product or service when you're making your ad. No, you may be thinking that, but that is not true. When you make your ad needs to be to make them click that ad. That's the job of that ad, not to sell them. You might be saying, well, Steve, I see all these ads out there saying, here, click here to buy this and click here to buy that. That's because they have pixeled you and they know your interest or they know your interest from something else that you've bought before. So now they're spending the money to potentially get you to buy the product. But before that, you had to show an interest. And the way the internet is put together now, we all in some way either speaking on our phone, typing in something in the search engine, they will know, and then they sell that data, not your name specifically, but your data to feed you advertisers that you most likely would buy from. I also run ads on TikTok. As a matter of fact, one of my ads for helping people get payment deferments, that's one of my do it yourself programs, only 39.95. Uh, TikTok contacted me directly, like had a rep reach out to me and say, "Hey, you're running an ad and you're getting more click throughs than people that are not running an ad that are just trying to share information. Your click through rate, which I think he said was like 3.5%, which is unheard of when you're running ads online. 3.5% click through rate. That meant that if you have 10 people, you're going to have three people, 0.5, cut a person in half. We don't do that. You're going to have either four people, 3 or 4 people that click through to see what you had to offer. If you could do that and you spread that over thousands of people, you will sell a lot of products. And so what I'm doing with that is I'm reworking that because I know that at the beginning of the year, a lot of people have fell behind. They're going to fall behind with doing all this Christmas stuff, buying presents and stuff potentially that they couldn't afford, and they're going to need to look at doing some payment deferment. I also run ads, and TikTok only allows you to run a video ad, and it has to have sound. You cannot run ads without sound. If you don't have voice, you have to have music. That's their rules. Um uh, Newsprint, I run newsprint ads. Not mainly just in my own newspaper. I don't do like I used to. There was a time where I was running in hundreds of newspapers, but mainly moved to online. And then mobile apps, and like I mentioned with my Blue Book News app, you can actually place ads on mobile apps. If you look at it, you can see there's Spotify apps you can run them on now, all types of different places that you can run ads on. So there's a lot of different choices on where you can run ads and different types of ways that you can run them. But my number one thing that I tell people is do not try to spread yourself thin and think that, okay, I'm going to be in all of these places and I'm going to get seen. No, pick one place and learn how to make that work for lead generation. Run your ads to generate leads, capture those leads, put them into an autoresponder, and then remarket to those people. That is like by far the most successful way. That's where I talked about in my last video where I learned my lesson. Do it that way because that's how you're going to get success. Looking at my email results just from last night to my one of my lists, it's getting 5.2% open rate from the initial email that went out. That's a huge percentage of people. You're talking about thousands of people that are opening the email. People say people don't pay attention to email no more. Yes, they do. And so what your job would to be if we could just break this down for a second is number one, make an ad that works that gets people to click, not for trying to force someone to buy. People are not going to buy from you on seeing your ad. Get it out of your mind. It's not going to work. I don't care who says it. Next, capture their information and then send them to an information sales page about your product or service on your website. Then you remarket to them to that same sales page because you know that they're interested in it. You just want to make different emails that will get their attention to get them to open. By doing that process over and over, you will find what you need to say in your emails to get people to open. On mine, I tried all these different variations. I know exactly what headlines to get people to open. Like I was thinking, like I need to change it all the time. No, what I needed to do was just pay attention to what people want to hear and what will get them to click. And the way that you know that is by looking at the click through on the email, and you'll know what email subject line in the subject. Because first You need to get them to see your email, and then you need to get them to click to open your email. Then you're working on them to click to go to your website. So you have several tests that you need to work through to get to that hit record, like I was saying, to get to that where you're like, okay, I have something here. And when you're doing that, regardless of what business you're doing, when you're doing that, there's going to be a learning phase. So don't think that you're going to do this and you're going to be rich in 30 days, you're going to be rich in 90 days. What you're going to see is you're going to see a path to success within 30 days, and you will start seeing revenue turn around to where you're like, okay, I could just keep investing because you're going to see that, okay, this is getting somewhere and I see that revenue is coming in. And then you're just going to have that explosion. And I think that explosion comes when you had that belief inside that I am rich. Because when I'll go back to the YouTube example, I was making those videos. No, let me even go further. Let me go further back when I started my publishing company in 1990 when I was 20 years old, about to turn 21 years old. When I started that business, I had inside of me that I wanted to make a certain amount of money. Um, you know, at that time it was I wanted to make $6,000 a month. That was like my goal. I was like, if we make 6,000 a month, we are rich. And I was basing that on number one, what I was making, which was only $364 every 2 weeks, and I was basing that on what I was going to get when we had that, which was we were going to buy a house and I was going to have a few cars. That's what I was kind of really basing that $6,000 on. But one of the things that I did is that I constantly fed myself information, and really my wife and I started having what I would say is an unbreakable spirit inside of us that we were going to accomplish what we wanted. We didn't know how fast, we didn't know when, we there was no specific date in mind, but that what was inside is that we were just going to keep doing what had to be done, and we knew what we wanted. And within 8 months, I was able to quit that security guard job, and we had got that income for that business up to 36,000 a year. 30, that's not a lot, but back then, 1990, 1991, 36,000. You're 20, 21 years old, pretty good money when you're working on your own. And really, to do our magazine, we only had to work a couple of days a week. And it was just my wife and I, we did everything. And but 4 years later, we're making over 100,000 a year. Just in by 1994, really 3 years later, 3.5 years later, we were making over $100,000. And so, but I still, when I look back and I put like remind myself of this, that you're rich. Before the money materialized, I started having a money attitude. Let's put it that way. I started thinking, feeling of that it's coming, that I deserve it, that this is the new me. That was me. And then what had happened was when people tried to make fun of us when we weren't making anything, but we were still producing, it didn't break us. We just kept going forward, like just kept going forward. And I tell the story to a lot of people, and some maybe I don't explain it the right way, but what I'm saying is that you have to be what you want before it materializes. You have to have that inside of you first, because if you think that you got to get it first and then that's you, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Get that out of your mind. It don't work that way. It works inside first, change first, and then it materializes. And that's why people will say, you changed. When you didn't change, all you did is you became that person. And then they, before the money materialized, they said, "Who do you think you are? You're dressing up in your suit. You're wearing your nice, $5,000 and $10,000 watches. You know, you I won't, let's take away the watches. Let's take away the watches. Before the money appears, you won't be probably wearing the watches. Let's just say you're dressing in suits. Like that's what I did. I got myself nice clothes off the rack at I think at that time was probably Walmart or it was Target because Target had very good dress clothes, very cheap, but I had nice dress clothes. That meant that when I walked into a place, there was an impression already before I opened my mouth. You're already building the impression. The perception is the reality. The perception. You walk in, so the perception first, when you walk in that door and people see you, they're going to make that perception right from the beginning. And if you are not already feeling and believing that you're that person, they're going to have a bad wave that they pick up on, and that's going to make them kind of withdraw from you. Something in the back of their mind is going to say, I'll just tell this person a quick no. When we used to make sales calls, I had learned very quick because I was afraid of making calls, cold calls on the phone, and we did that with our magazine. And one of the things that I had to learn to do was to change my mindset before I even made the call. Like I was already imagining the person wanting to stay on the phone with me. Now, most people didn't want to stay on the phone with me, but that didn't matter because I knew that I was going to get to my goal no matter what if I just continued staying consistent making those calls. And, you know, just out of the blue, some of the times when you make that many calls, the call that the person that answers is even more prepared to potentially buy from you. Like that's what I learned. So if you stay consistent, you're going to draw people to you that want to do business with you, with whatever you do. So I want to invite you to, if you are looking at marketing your business or you need materials like business cards, postcards, websites, stuff to get your business going off the ground, or if you need consulting help where you would like myself or one of my reps to kind of help you along with your business, uh, please visit our website, bluebookmke.com. Fill out that form on there, lead generation. Fill out the form on there and we will contact you and just kind of run down how we can help you. So I'd like to end the video here. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of Blue Book MKE. Thank you.